Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paula's Soapbox Live. My guest today is a talented country bluegrass singer-songwriter. Her debut album was called Appalachian Angel. She currently has a single out with her former Dollywood co-star, Eric Martsolf. It's called Days Go By. She has a new album coming out called Taking Care of Bluegrass, My Tribute to Elvis. Please welcome to the show, Holly Norman.
Hey everybody!
Hey Holly, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be doing my first Google Hangout.
Yes, I'm very excited that your first one was on my show. So
yeah.
I'm always excited for that. I'm like, yes.
Yes, this is really cool.
Yeah, I like this format. I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I mentioned, you have a new album coming out, the Elvis tribute album. Mm-hmm. So first of all, why an Elvis tribute album and why now?
Well, it's just been the last couple of years in the making, and but it was born way before then. I've always been a big Elvis fan. My whole family are Elvis fans, being from East Tennessee, and my sister's like a super fan. Like, she has the collection and everything, and she just adores Elvis. So we always go every year to Elvis Week, which is in August, and it's where all the fans gather and they celebrate his life and music. And so a couple of years ago, we were down there, and I had just finished my Appalachian Angel project, and we were kind of thinking ahead, what are we going to do for another project? And we're standing there literally at the foot of Graceland they have a candlelight vigil the night of his death. So we're standing there with our candles, walking up to the meditation garden and listening to all this Elvis music and looking at all the fans and just being really inspired. So I looked at Heather, my sister, and I said, why don't I put some Elvis songs on an album? And she's like, we could do a whole tribute album. And I was like, I wonder if anybody's ever done Elvis's music bluegrass style. Yeah. And especially a female. I thought this is a really unique concept. I'm a female, it'd be bluegrass songs. We'd really change the arrangements and just how they work. And then Heather came up with the cutest thing. She's like, we could call it Taking Care of Bluegrass, because Elvis's big motto all through his life was TCB, which was taking care of business. And I was like, that's it. Light bulb moment, taking care of bluegrass. Yeah. So it was born then. And then we went through this whole process. I got together with my producer and manager, Ernie Rowell, here in Nashville, and we just kind of tossed around ideas of different songs. And that was a process, but we narrowed it down to 12 Elvis songs. And they're all different types. Some are like his really, really popular hits like Suspicious Minds and Moody Blue. And then some are kind of obscure that we did that maybe some Elvis fans won't know. We did Little Cabin Home on the Hill, which is an old Bill Monroe bluegrass song. And Elvis actually recorded it, though. A lot of people don't know that. And just some really obscure songs. And it turned out so, so great. It took us over a year to record it because just great things kept coming our way. One of my good friends is Daryl Toney, and he's one of the Imperials.
Yeah, I noticed that you worked with them.
Special guest. They sang background vocals on 3 of the songs, and then a few weeks later, it just so happened fate intervened, and James Burton was going to be in Nashville, which, if you don't know, he was Elvis's guitarist. Yeah. So he came in and played resonator guitar on Kentucky Rain, and it's amazing. So we were just so blessed, and the whole project just came together with all of the great musicians as well. Cody Kilby, who's with Ricky Skaggs' band Kentucky Thunder, he was a major help with some of the songs and the arrangements, and it's just top notch. It's the who's who of bluegrass musicians. Like, if I could have had a dream team, this was it. So It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, getting to work with the Imperials and Terry Blackwood, all of these people, that must have really brought home what you were trying to accomplish with this album.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it just lent a credibility to it, and it lent just a magical quality to it. Like, when we were in the studio both times with them, I just got some goosebump moments, because when we had Terry and the Imperials come in, we were working on just arrangements, and they were kind of going back and forth with their background vocals, and we were doing one song, And Terry started singing the wrong thing because my arrangement's a little bit different. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was doing it like Elvis used to do it." And I was like, chill, bump. It's like the weight of it. I'm like, this is a man who has stood with Elvis for years and was on stage with him for years. So we were all just like, oh, and then when James Burton came in, he just couldn't have been any nicer. And he's, I think, close to 80 now, and he still plays amazing. I mean, he just brought such a uniqueness to the song, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, we really had some great times with him in the studio. It was a dream come true.
Yeah. I bet. I mean, it's an experience that was probably surreal, I would imagine. So
yeah, for all of us, especially my sister. I mean, we were just all like, "Oh, we can't believe we're in the studio," and with all these people that were involved with Elvis and a part of his life, and now we're going to be a part of my life. And it's just so nice to pay homage to Elvis and keep his memory and his music alive, because he transcends all generations. I mean, when you go to Elvis Week, there's like 5-year-olds in their little Elvis costume, and they're just out, and there's 95-year-olds that just still love him. So we really wanted to bring this project to a whole new audience. There may be some younger generations or maybe some bluegrass fans that don't know Elvis's music that well. So I'm hoping that through this album, they'll discover Elvis and love him as much as I do.
So when will the album be released?
Well, we had a soft release. I did a festival a couple of weeks ago, and I had it there. But the official release is this week. Actually, I'm going to say tomorrow it will be available. I'm doing a brand new website, and it will be available on my website. It's hollynorman.com.
Okay.
And you'll be able to pick up a copy there. We're going to do digital downloads and hard copies. So
it'll be available on iTunes.
It will eventually be available on iTunes, but right now I'm just releasing it exclusively through my website.
Okay.
Yeah, but probably 2 or 3 weeks down the road, it'll be on iTunes as well.
Yeah. Well, you're offering fans a chance to be in your next music video, Long Live the King. So, and I know you did a Facebook Live thing today, but for those who didn't see it, what does that entail?
Oh, well, I haven't actually done it yet.
You haven't done it yet? Okay.
I'm going to do, but it is today. If you want to tune in, you can go to my Facebook. It's Holly Norman Music. I do little Facebook Lives all the time, just kind of life here in Nashville and the recording process and all the things I have going on. But I wanted to do a couple of official music videos for the album, and I wanted to make sure and do Long Live the King because I wrote it as a tribute to Elvis.
Yeah. And
when we were coming up with the video concept, we were kind of thinking, tossing around ideas of what we're going to do. And one of the things I wanted to do was have the fans involved. So it's really, really simple. All they have to do is record just a few seconds on their phone, record a video of themselves, and I want them to say 3 words about Elvis, like something that describes him for them or something that he means to them, and send it to me. And then we're going to put it in the video, just intersperse it with me throughout the video. So I think it's going to be really neat, and I think the Elvis fans are really going to love it.
The Elvis fans are going to love it.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, I've been getting a great response. When I first started the project, I put little tidbits about it on my Facebook, and I've put out a few YouTube videos. If anybody'd like to check those out, I have a YouTube channel called Holly Norman Music. And I'm doing a whole series called The Making of Taking Care of Bluegrass.
Yeah.
So every week I've put up videos of me with James Burton and me with the Imperials and me with the musicians, so they can kind of get a little behind the scenes sneak peek. And I'll be putting up videos of kind of behind the scenes of how we're going to make this video. So I'm really excited. People all over the world have contacted me. I just had some fans from Germany.
Oh, wow.
They found my video on YouTube and were commenting on it and got the album. So he's worldwide. He's just international. And so I'm hoping to get not only American fans, but just all over the world.
International, yeah.
They want to be a part of the video. I'd love to have them.
Yeah, you may end up with more videos than you can handle. But
I know. It's like a 4-minute song. So I'm going to pick the best of the best, but then I thought, I may just go ahead and upload just some more different versions of it and just keep putting different ends on there, you know?
Yeah, you could do that. That is such a neat concept. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, we've got a lot going on right now, and I'm really, really excited about all of it. The album release, we've just been on pins and needles waiting. I couldn't wait. I got the CD a couple of weeks ago, and it turned out better than I thought. And I'm so excited for this year. It's going to be a great year.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited for the album. I think it's going to be a big hit. So.
Thank you. I hope so. Yeah.
Well, I read that you actually did not start singing until you were in college.
Yeah, well, I sang a little bit before that, but just kind of in my home or in the bathroom or in the shower or whatever.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to do something entertainment-wise, and my whole family's very, very musical. My grandfather kind of started it all, I guess, with my dad's side of the family. His name was Bill Norman, and he was a fiddle player, and he played with Roy Acuff. Because Roy is from my hometown area, and they used to play around and went to all the places in Knoxville. And then, of course, Roy decided to go to Nashville, and my papa Bill decided to stay home. He had 4 kids, so he wanted to raise them. And as we all know, Roy went on to become the king of country music. They always had a close relationship, and Papa just instilled a love of country and bluegrass music to the whole family. And my uncle W.A. really took that to heart. He played guitar, he sang, he had bands, he was in everything. He had a gospel group, he had a bluegrass group, he had a country group, and he just played music throughout his life. And he kind of saw, I guess, something in me, and he was like, why don't you sing for me? And you know, try something out. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, so the first song I ever sang for him was Mama, He's Crazy by the Judds. And he was like, okay, you can carry a tune. Let's do this. So, and then it just took off from there. And so I sang with him for a little while, but when I was in college is when I actually got serious and sang in public. So, So I always had it in me. I just was too shy.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously in your DNA or something, because, you know, family history, being musical. Yeah. I didn't get any of that. My mom's side of the family is musical. My uncle has like a bluegrass band. He's had it for years and years and years. They play like local gigs and that sort of thing. Yeah. I did not get any of the I didn't get any of the talent for instrument playing or singing or anything. It just totally skipped over me. So I always like to talk to musicians because I'm always curious about that talent. Well, last month you were at Dollywood for the Bluegrass and Barbecue Festival. Yes. That is a yearly thing, right?
Yeah, they have it every year for about 2 or 3 weeks, and they have all sorts of cook-off competitions and tons of barbecue, and they have just great bluegrass acts. They always have an awesome headliner, you know, Rhonda Vincent or Ricky Skaggs, and then they always invite, you know, local artists and other bluegrass artists. So it's a great festival. I highly recommend. If you've never been to Dollywood, you need to go. But if you love music, they have different festivals throughout the year. They have a gospel festival, a bluegrass festival, and just tons of stuff. And it's so fun.
Yeah. So Dollywood I went there a lot when I was a kid, but it's a great family-oriented theme park. And there's a lot focused on music. So it's a very good, especially since we don't have Opryland anymore.
I know.
You know, the next best thing, but you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they are, well, just because Dolly, it's her namesake, so she really emphasizes the musical aspect of it. So there's tons of shows, and they're all varieties. I mean, it's not only just country. I mean, they have a 50s show. It's kind of 50s and 60s, and gospel and bluegrass and country, and so it's just a great place for music. And she's really getting into the rides now, so there's tons of roller coasters. But my favorite part of the park is she wants to keep the history of the area alive. So they still have they have one whole Craftsman's Valley where they'll teach you how to make candles, how to make lye soap. They have blown glass. So it really just shows you the heritage of the mountain people. And so I really enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, that is a really good point, because she was doing that even when I was going, when I was, like I said, when I was a little kid. So I'm glad that they've kept that going, because it's been a while since I visited the park. But yeah, she really does seem to want to keep the heritage of the Smoky Mountains and Tennessee alive. So I like that she's still doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, how did you first become a performer at Dollywood?
Well, Dolly has always been my idol. I mean, she is my end all be all. I just have loved her since I was a little girl. Like when I was growing up, she used to have TV shows on all the time, and I watched them constantly. And when I was really little, if you were like, Holly, what's love? I'd go, love is like a butterfly.
Yeah.
That's what she would sing. That was like one of her songs. And so just growing up, and then when I went around with my uncle, he had a band, so we just traveled all over. If there was a church picnic, if there was something, a get together, we were there at it. There's some little honky tonks around the East Tennessee area and conventions. We did all sorts of stuff. And then I was like, I really want to take this to the next level. So Dollywood's only about 45 minutes from my hometown, and I'd been going there since I was little.
Yeah.
So, and I loved the shows. Like, I just thought the people in the shows were just the greatest thing ever. So they hold auditions every year, and one day I just said, I'm going to go audition. And so I went, and it was so funny because I was auditioning for the country show because I'm super country, and that was all I'd ever sang.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, I'm going to go, and I'm going to be in this country show, and da-da-da. I go through my, and then they have me back, and they're like, can you sing some 50 songs? And I'm like, okay. So they gave me some 50 songs. And then I put together a little resume, and I put that I could twirl the baton. So they were like, hey, can you come back and bring your batons? So I'm like, okay. And they're like, actually, we're really looking for kind of a baton twirler too. And I'm like, all right. So I wound up being in their 50 show called Let the Good Times Roll. And I sang and danced and twirled the baton. So it was not anything what I expected. I thought I was vlogging and singing Patsy Cline songs, and I wound up doing 50s music, which I loved. It was the best show. I mean, they don't have it anymore, but they should bring it back because people like, 50s music, who doesn't love it? And it was just a really cute story because we kind of put the Dolly thread through it. She used to sing in the 50s at a place called the Pines Theater in Sevierville. So she created a Pines Theater in the 50s section of Dollywood, and we did a little show and had all your cast of characters. I was the cheerleader, and then we had like the rich girl, we had the jock, we had the sweet girl, we had kind of the Rizzo biker chick character, and like the leather jacket guy. So it was really cute.
Yeah, I may have. I don't know if I saw you perform in Dollywood. I saw a lot of the shows. So when was it that you were there?
You probably didn't see me in the 50 show, because if you did, you would remember, because that was like when I say I was the baton twirler, they're like, I saw you, I totally did. Right. They don't remember anything else, but they totally remember the baton twirling.
Right. So how long did you do that? Did you do the shows at Dollywood?
I was at Dollywood, oh gosh, for years. I did the 50 show. I did some country shows. I did their Christmas shows. We had another awesome show called Paradise Road, which was about Dolly's life. And we portrayed her from a little girl on up till current time. And I played the Porter Dolly is what we called it. I played Dolly in the 60s.
Yeah.
Dolly when she was on the Porter Wagner show. So, and then we just went on through the decades with her. But I was there for several years. But the whole time with Eric is I met him my first year there. I did the 50 show. And it was... He
was the jock, right?
Of course. Could he be anything else? I mean,
I know he's the perfect jock,
Totally, yeah. Yeah, and I remember walking in that day because I was the youngest cast member and had never done anything. Like, I was still in school, so I'm just doing this show, trying to see if I'm even going to like entertaining or like professional singing or whatever. So I walked in and all these people that I had grown up watching were all in the show. And I was just kind of starstruck, and I just walked in and I was like, what am I doing here? And this,
Yeah.
these people I've watched them since I was little, and they're all amazing performers. I mean, it was a stellar cast. And, but the great thing about Eric, you know, I met him, and for any of his fans that have met him in person, I mean, he is just as good looking in person as he is on camera. So it's like, I'm like, whoa, who's this like good looking guy? This
Right.
star. Back then we were all like, this guy, wow. And it was so great and so nice, and we hit it off. My dance partner was his best friend at the time. So we all, I think the second day I was there, me and my dance partner and Eric and my best friend all went to lunch, and we were just kind of inseparable for the next few years while we were both at Dollywood. He was just great guy.
Right. Well, and I know that you got to play Dolly, like you mentioned, and you got to perform with her quite a bit too at Dollywood, right?
Yeah. I always call Dolly, like, I think she's my musical guardian angel, because she's just kind of been there through all these different points in my life. You know, like growing up, she was the end all be all. I always watched her on TV and saw her, you know, quite a bit in the paper because it's her hometown area. And then I always say when I needed a job, she seems to always be there for me. Like, I wanted a job in entertainment, so I went to Dollywood.
Right.
And while I was there, we opened the 50 show, and she did a concert. Our cast got to be a part of her opening. Every grand opening, she does concerts. So that grand opening, she did a 50s concert, and we got to sing with her, and it was so great. She was dressed in a little 50s outfit and had her little 50s hair, and she sang songs from the show, and we were her like background singer dancers, and it was great. And then when we opened up Paradise Road a few years later, she came, and she was very involved in the show. I mean, they had people write the script of it and put the songs in, but she was very hands-on. I mean, she would be like, these songs have to be in it. You can take the song out. You know, that's not right. I remember when we were running dress rehearsals, the lady that was playing her mom was a natural blonde, so she had blonde hair, and Dolly was in the audience, and she was like, no. She was like, my mama had jet black hair, and that lady's going to have jet black hair. So they got her a wig, and Dolly was really hands-on. So I really got to know her through that whole process, because she was always on park. You know, she comes there 3 or 4 times a year, and I always was just fortunate enough to be involved in whatever project she was doing. So I kind of got to see how she was behind the scenes as well as on stage, and just learned a lot from her.
Yeah, I would imagine. And I read that you helped to create a dress that is now in the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. My life is so funny and crazy. But I love it, because I get to do all these really interesting, amazing things. But Dolly is always there for me. Guardian angel. When I decided to leave Dollywood and move to Nashville, I just went blindly. I was like, I'm just going to go to Nashville. I had no job. I had found an apartment, but I was just like, I'll get a job when I get there. And a friend of mine that I actually worked with at Dollywood is now Dolly's creative director. His name's Steve Summers, and he handles all of the creative with her. He does her videos, her wardrobe, her photo shoots, anything creative that she's going to do, he has a hand in it. So I'd been here a couple of months, and he called me and said, hey, I heard you moved to Nashville. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And he's like, well, I'm doing all this stuff for Dolly, and I'm assembling a team, because he's the designer. He designs it, or he goes out and buys the outfit. And then, of course, everything has to be custom fit to Dolly because of her proportions. So you can buy it off the rack, but then you have to tailor it to her.
Right.
Seamstress, so Steve brings in the idea or the clothing. The seamstress either makes it from scratch or she tailors it, and then it comes to me, because I can't sew on a sewing machine. They taught me the basics. I can sew appliques and buttons and snaps and all that, but my job was like her official bedazzler. So I won't wear anything that doesn't have rhinestones or sequins or sparkles on it. So after it goes to Steve and it goes to the seamstress, it would come to me, and then I would put all the bling on it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how long would that take to do something like that?
Oh my gosh. Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she likes everything to be really, really blinged out. But some of the stuff, like the dress you mentioned, we were up for a couple of nights, all night. I mean, we laugh because if she's busy, then we were super busy. And I remember the seamstress had her office in her home, and we were just all packed in there. And we even had extra help, and we just worked all day and all night because it has to get done. Because
Right.
you got to wear it
Yeah.
on this date, and this is when it's got to be done. So the dress, I believe, that's in the Hall of Fame is from her 25th anniversary at Dollywood. We had a special gown made, and they displayed it at Dollywood for a year, and so people could see it up close. And then one day they were doing I believe it's a Kenny Rogers exhibit. They had that a year or so ago, and I often go to the Country Music Hall of Fame just to see the different exhibits they have. And we were walking through, and I was like, hey, there's that dress I did, Dolly. You know, this is awesome. I've made it. I've made it to the Country Music Hall of Fame.
By way of Dolly's dress.
By way of dress.
Yeah.
Effort. So yeah. So it was great, but it was a difficult job, but I mean, it couldn't have been more fun. I mean, there's so many fun things, and her life is so interesting, and she's always doing something really, really fun, and we just get to be a part of that. So I remember one time we made a dress that was made out of bubbles. So I sat for a day and glued bubbles onto a dress because she wanted to look like she had bubbles on. I mean, she's like the best celebrity, I would think, to dress because she doesn't care. She doesn't go with the trends or the fashion. She's just like, I want a bubble dress, or I want to look like a lumberjack, or I want to look like a butterfly today.
Yeah. Total creativity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, you designed a guitar for her too, right? The Coat of Many Colors guitar that she actually still plays.
Yeah, I did a few when she was going on tour a few years back. She wanted all of her instruments bedazzled. So if you check out, she's doing a tour right now called Pure and Simple, and it's an acoustic show. And all of the instruments are white with rhinestones on them, and we did those a few years ago for her. I believe it was her Backwoods Barbie tour and then her Better Day tour. She loves these white instruments that we rhinestone for, and she to this day still uses them. So, and then there's a couple that are on display at her Dreammore Resort. But the Coat of Many Colors guitar, again, Steve designed it. He kind of made a little drawing of it and said, we're going to do a Coat of Many Colors guitar. How cute would this be for her? And I'm like, absolutely. So he designed it out how he wanted it, and it took a long time. I sanded it down. I painted the little patchwork pattern, and then I can't even tell you how many rhinestones are on it. I mean, a gazillion, because and they're all multicolored, like every color of the rainbow's on there, and it took forever, but it was well worth it because she loves it, and she has performed with it in several of her music videos. And then a friend of mine Facebooked me not too long ago and was like, your guitar's made it to The Voice. Dolly's on The Voice singing with your guitar. So I looked it up, and sure enough, she'd been a mentor on The Voice and sang Coat of Many Colors, and she used that guitar. So I was like, this is great. I'm on The Voice.
and now that the movie came out last year, so
as soon as I heard the movie was coming out, I was like, I bet my guitar resurfaces. I bet it's some serious use this year, and it has.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. We touched on this a minute ago about the song that you did with Eric Martsolf, Days Go By. So how did this reunion and the collaboration come about?
Well, it was just by luck and fate and great timing. I knew Eric was on Days Roll. I was like, we kind of lost contact through the years. You know how it is. He went to LA and I stayed in Tennessee. And every now and then I would hear, oh, Eric's, on Broadway, or Eric's doing this play, or because he loves musical theater, and he was doing a lot of that. And then one day my sister calls me up and goes, do you remember that guy, Eric Martsolf, you were at Dollywood with? I'm like, yeah. She's like, he's on the soap opera Passions. And I'm like, what? And so I'm like flipping over, and sure enough, there he is. So he's on that for a while. then that show got canceled. And the funny thing is, and I told this to Eric, my sister, she was a diehard Passions fan.
Yeah.
And she was watching, and she's also a diehard Days of Our Lives fan. And she said, Eric is crazy. He needs to go audition and play John Black's son, Brady.
Oh, wow.
On Days of Our Lives. They have the same manners. And you know how they have that look?
Right, yeah.
So dramatic, just like Drake Hogerson. She was like, they'd be a perfect father-son.
Right.
Sure enough, she said,
is a Days of Our Lives fan, isn't she?
oh, cute. Yeah, like diehard. Like, I could bring her in right now, and I would dare you to stump her, because she knows the characters. She can tell you all about their storylines through the years.
And her mannerisms and
yeah, it's craziness. And but I used to work during the day a lot, so I didn't keep up with it as much as she did. But I was a Days of Our Lives fan when I was little. Like, I watched it all growing up, and so I was super thrilled for him when I heard he had gotten on there. But so flash forward, he's on Days of Our Lives, and then I get a random Facebook message from somebody I didn't know, this lady, and she's just like, hi, we're doing a fan event. It's a charity event. It's going to be held at Dollywood, and your old friend Eric Martzoff's going to be a part of it. We'd love to have some of his old friends come by and surprise him. And I was like, well, is this legit? So I'm like looking it up, and sure enough, he goes around and does all sorts of fan events, and it's for wonderful causes. And he was using this as like a kind of a coming home to Dollywood and back to his roots, he called it, because he really, that was where he got his start. And he said that's really where he developed the fire to go on to do bigger things. So I said, well, okay, this sounds like fun. And I haven't seen him in a few years, I'll come down and do it. Yeah. So they do all sorts of things. They have breakfasts with the stars, and they have cocktail parties, and they have these meet and greets. So he was doing a meet and greet, and I was a little nervous because we hadn't seen each other in a long time. And I thought, oh, is he going to be the same, guy I knew back at Dollywood before he made it? So I was like, please don't let me get there and him just, A, not remember who I am, and B, just be a jerk or just, whatever.
Yeah.
Have a big head. So I got there, and I surprised him off stage. I had my microphone, and I started talking. And I thought he'd be able to know me just from my accent, because I'm the only person with a country accent in this show. And he always thought that was hilarious. But I'm talking, and I'm like, you were the jock. We did the show together. I was the cheerleader. And as soon as I said, and I twirled the baton, he was like, Holly Norman, get out here. And he totally remembered me and all of his old Dollywood buddies. Yeah. He asked about everybody that was in the cast. What's so-and-so doing? What are they up to? What about this? And it was so funny. I was just meant to come on for a few minutes and just say, hey, I worked with Eric back in the day, and leave. And I wound up staying for like the whole program. Literally, they pulled up a chair, and it's me sitting between Greg Vaughn, who plays Eric Brady on the show. He was at the end.
Yeah.
And Eric Martzoff.
What a great seat for you to have, by the way, too.
I had never met Greg, and I will say that I want to say this for all of his fans too. This man is stunning. I mean, you think he's good looking on camera? Up close, I was like, "You're not real." I mean, this guy is amazing, but the nicest guy. Mm-hmm. I chatted with him, spent the whole day with him, spent that night with him and Eric at a party, reminiscing and just talking. He's the greatest guy. He's so down to earth. He was so personable and friendly, just an awesome guy. So I have to say that. And then back to my thing with Eric, it was like no time had passed. You know how you have those friends where you don't see them for a while, and as soon as you get back together, it's like you all in sync. Yeah, so we spent that day talking, and like I say, I wound up doing the entire program telling stories on Eric from his Dollywood days and basically embarrassing him in front of his fans. And then we went to a cocktail party that night, and he was just talking to the fans, and we were talking, and he said, what are you doing now? And I said, I live in Nashville, and I'm a singer-songwriter. And just kind of, he was like, oh, we should, sing together sometime. And I said, funny you should say that. I have this guy-girl duet that I wrote a while back, and I've just been looking for some, the perfect person to sing this with me. And he's like, well, what's the name of it? And it hadn't dawned on me, but I was like, the name of it's Days Go By. And all the fans in the room are like, oh, Days Go By, Days for Our Lives. This babe, you've got to do it. And so, but I'm still thinking this is never going to happen. You know, he's in LA, I live in Nashville. This is just not going to happen. And he's like, yeah, send me the song. I'd love to hear it and maybe sing on it. And he's like, you know, I'll be in Nashville in 3 months. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm doing another fan event down in Nashville, and maybe if time permits, we could get together and record it. So I was like, okay. So we go our separate ways. I sent him the song. He loved it. We rush. Luckily, my sister co-owns a recording studio called Funhouse Studios here on Music Row, and that's where we recorded it at. It was super funny. I literally went and picked him up from a fan event. We raced to the studio. We only had like a 2-hour time frame to get all the vocals and harmony parts and all that done before I had to go drop him off at the airport for him to catch a plane to go back.
Yeah.
But we got it done, and it was so great. He even put a charitable aspect to it. He called me up a few weeks after he heard the song, and he knew that we were going to record it. And he said, would you mind if I auction off tickets for a couple of fans to come and watch us record, and all the proceeds will go to this charity? And I'm like, absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. So, you know, he just did a great thing like that. So 2 or 3 of the fans got to come and be a part of it and watch us record it. And, you know, all the money went to charity, and it was great. And it turned out so good. Like so good.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites that I've recorded, and he just did a great job. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but that's what he started out in, was singing.
Right. Yeah. And that's a little known fact about him, that he was actually, you know, in musical theater, and not a lot of people know that. Yeah, and that's one of his true passions along with acting. He loves to sing and record, and he released an album a few years ago, and so he was so excited to do it. He's like, you know, singing is one of my passions, and I don't get to do it as often as I want because he's a soap opera star now, and that takes time. Yeah. It was a real treat, not only for me, but for him as well, for us to get to do this. And I'm so, so proud of it. It's on iTunes, and if you have not gotten it, you need to download it because he's amazing on it. Yeah, it is. It's a really great song. I listened to it when it first came out. Thank you. Yeah, so it's a really great song, and the title could not be more perfect. So I know, it could be. I'm like, this is so perfect for you. Well, that's how, you know, timing and fate and everything works out in its own time. Because I had written that years and years ago, and I had a demo with one of my other Dollywood friends. Just was like, yeah, I'll do the demo with you. And I kind of had it, but hadn't ever pursued anything with it because I just didn't have the right person. I felt like sing it with me. And then when Eric sang it, I was like, this is why. This is why. Right. He was meant to do it. So yeah, it was meant to be. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you are going to sing a little something for us right before we go. Yes. Okay. Are you ready? I'm sitting patiently. Yes. Let me go grab him. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I'm back. Okay. This, once again, for all y'all out there, this is called Long Live the King. It's an original I wrote that's on my new album, Taking Care of Bluegrass. It's out tomorrow. You can get it at hollynorman.com. But more importantly with this song, if you like it and you're an Elvis fan, please go to my Facebook, and I will have all the details for you to be a part of this video. So I hope you all enjoy it. From Tupelo to Memphis, Hollywood to Vegas, he left his mark everywhere he strayed. From rock and roll to country, and everything in between, he put his sound on everything he played. He was a mover and a shaker, an angel and a hellraiser. He was everything. He was everything. He was a father and a brother, a friend and
was everything. He was everything. Long live the King. Forever may he reign. From the first time that you see him, you're never quite the same. Long live the King. His spirit will remain. Future generations are always gonna know his name. Long live the King. He was a giver and a taker, an angel and a hellraiser. He was everything. He was everything. He was a man, he was a myth, a blessing. He was a gift. He was everything. Oh, he's everything. Long live the King. Forever may he reign. From the first time that you see him, you're never quite the same. Long live the King. His spirit will remain. Future generations are always gonna know his name. Long live the King. Long live the King. Long live the King.
Awesome.
Yes.
Such a beautiful voice. It's such a treat to be able to hear you sing and sing live, and it was a treat to have you on the show today, so I appreciate you coming on.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate it as well. It was a definite treat for us here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a blast, and I'm going to do more of these. This is so fun.
Hey, you come back to this show anytime you want to.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
No. You have
Nope.
covered it all.
I've covered it all.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's watching and who will watch in the future. And please check you out on your Soapbox. It's great. I saw all your Google Hangouts, and they're really fun and interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks to everybody. Please join me on my Facebook. It's Holly Norman Music. And on my website, it's hollynorman.com.
I should mention, what time are you planning to do your Facebook Live today for the contest?
It's 2:45 my time, and I'm planning on around 3 o'clock. So
in like 15 minutes.
like 15 minutes, I'm about to do it.
Okay, so everybody scoot on over to Facebook.
Yeah.
To Holly's page.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in your album, the tribute album, Taking Care of Bluegrass, a tribute to Elvis, will be out tomorrow.
Tomorrow on hollynorman.com. You can order it there, and please do. I would love for you to order it, and then let me know what you think of it. I think everybody's going to love it. So
I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah.
And your Days Go By single with Eric is available on iTunes.
It's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's on CD Baby. Anywhere online you can buy music, this single is available there. So please pick that up. You're going to love it. Eric's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Holly Norman, thank you again for coming on. So I hope that it'll come back at some point. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I sure will.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.